So, you're thinking about using your VA entitlement to buy a home. Well, generally speaking, if you have served at least 90 days or 24 months of active duty service, depending on when you serve, you will qualify for VA entitlement. And here are the 7 VA loan benefits. Located just outside of Fayetteville, North Carolina, Fort Bragg is an Army post that is loved for its location. Side note, I think I'm a little bit biased because I did actually grow up in Fayetteville, Fort Bragg area. But nonetheless, this military community stretches all over the state, creating a community that is ready to welcome you with open arms. Now, with the 57,000, and yes, you heard me correctly, 57,000 military service members driving to Fort Bragg and Pope each day, you'll need to for sure allocate some time in your commute for just a little bit of traffic. Now, let's hop into the 7 VA loan benefits. And by the way, these benefits are general guidelines across the board, regardless of what duty station you are currently in. Hello, beautiful people. I am Kendra Conyers, a licensed real estate agent here in the Charlotte metro area. I would love if you could like, subscribe, and tune in every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for great information about the real estate market. According to the data from the U.S. Department of Defense and the Census Bureau, there were a little more than 17 million military veterans and just under 2 million active duty and reservists as of 2021. But only a fraction of those men and women take advantage of their Veterans Affairs benefits to buy or refinance a home. I believe the biggest reason that more VA home loans aren't applied for is that many veterans and active military personnel may not know all the benefits available to them. And that's just really sad because non-military home buyers such as myself, we wish we had access to these advantages. Benefit number 1, VA loan benefits never expire. VA loan eligibility is based on the length of time and the period in which the mortgage applicant served in the military. Those on active duty will qualify generally after about 90 days of service. Members of the U.S. National Guard and reservists must wait at least 6 years to be able to be eligible unless they were called into active duty beforehand. Once a service member is eligible for the VA home loan, they're eligible for life. Even if you served 30 or 40 years ago, if eligibility can be established, it never goes away. To check eligibility, you must first obtain from the government a document verifying proof of military service, which is called a DD Form 214. With that form in hand, any approved lender can request the VA Certificate of Eligibility, which is the COE, on your behalf. Or you can request your COE directly from the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Benefit number 2, VA loans have lower rates and less risk. While a conventional mortgage, commonly referred to as a 30-year fixed mortgage, is available to everyone who qualifies, mortgages taken out with a VA loan are only available to U.S. veterans, active duty military, and members of the reserves or the National Guard. That's because the U.S. Veterans Association backs mortgages taken out with a VA loan, promising they'll repay between 25% and 50% depending on the loan balance if that loan defaults. This makes VA loans a much lower risk for lenders who then pass on those savings to the military homebuyer. Lowering the risk even further is the fact that veterans and members of the armed forces take ownership seriously. This means that VA loans have amongst the lowest foreclosure rates of any other loan type, something lenders love. And the savings come in the form of lower interest rates, about 0.25% lower than the current rate on a conventional loan, making the overall cost of borrowing the money to buy a home more affordable over the long haul. Benefit number 3, VA loans require no down payment, so there's no mortgage insurance. The most significant advantage of a VA loan, in my opinion, is that you don't need a down payment. None, zilch, nada. I mean, who wouldn't want to buy an entire house with no down payment? That could be like man cave money or even like sheet shed money. In the past, when homes were much less expensive, home buyers aimed for a 20% down payment. However, today, FHA and conventional loan programs require a down payment at least 3.5% to 5%. But still, for a $300,000 home, that's up to $15,000 you'll need to save up. And we're not even yet considering the savings required for the closing costs, the inspections, and other miscellaneous fees. Things start to add up pretty quickly. However, with VA loan, you can get started on your loan application immediately rather than waiting until you're saved up enough for all the fees described above. Plus, with a VA loan, you can avoid private mortgage insurance, which is PMI, which lenders collect on loans where the buyer puts down less than 20%. So, on a $300,000 loan, PMI can add hundreds of dollars to your regular monthly mortgage payment. Without the necessity to save for a down payment or to pay private mortgage insurance, a VA loan could get you into a home faster and with fewer hurdles than a typical loan offered to non-military home buyers. Benefit number 4, VA loan entitlement can be used over and over. Let me just pause right here for a moment of regret, because why didn't I go into the military so I could get all of these lifelong benefits? Like, what was I thinking? Clearly, I wasn't. I couldn't have been thinking. But let's move along. The VA loan benefit is not a one-time thing. Qualified veterans and military personnel can use it repeatedly as often as needed. I have clients who are on their 7th home. That's their 7th time using their VA loan. Let's assume that you first use the VA loan benefit to purchase a starter home. Then you started a family and you needed something a little bigger with a little more room. Once you sell the home, using the proceeds from that sale to satisfy the payoff of the VA loan, 100% of your benefit is restored in full and becomes available again to purchase another home. Let's look at another scenario. So let's say you purchased a home using your VA loan like last year, and you would like to upgrade and keep the first house to use as maybe an income stream. Then you would just need to produce a 12-month executed lease agreement, which means find a tenant for your first home, and the lender would need that document knowing that tenant will be occupying that property prior to closing on your new home in order for you to use your VA entitlement again on the new house. Benefit number 5, surviving spouses may be eligible to apply for VA loans. Surviving spouses of fallen military personnel, prisoners of war, or service members who went missing in action may also be eligible, with the stipulation that they have not remarried. Like a service person who was or would have been eligible, surviving spouses can also buy a home with no down payment and no mortgage insurance required. Additionally, the VA funding fee is waived for eligible surviving spouses. Benefit number 6, use a VA loan to get cash. There's also the VA loan cash out refinance, which can be used to tap into your home's equity. Eligible applicants use it to take out a loan that's larger than what is currently owed on a mortgage. And the difference is issued to the homeowner in cash at closing and up to 100% of your home's value. That cash can be used for any purchases, maybe home improvements, college tuition, a new car, or even to invest in another property to build wealth. As long as the rate is lower than what you would pay on those loans from any other lender, it might make sense for you to do it. And remember, you don't have to take out cash to use the VA loan option. IRRRL, which is interest rate reduction refinance loan, and cash out refinancing with the VA loan can be applied to any mortgage, even those that were not originally VA loans. And last but certainly not least, benefit number 7. If eligible, you might be able to avoid paying the VA loan funding fee. The U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs typically charges a funding fee to defray the cost of the VA loan program and make the home buying program sustainable for future veterans. That fee, depending on the loan type and the applicant's service history, it's between 0.5% and 3.5% of the loan amount. However, not everyone is required to pay the VA funding fee. Veterans who receive compensation for a service-related disability are exempt. Similarly, veterans who are eligible for disability compensation but instead receive retirement or active duty pay are also exempt from paying the fee. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website at www.kendraconyers.com for more information about me, or email me. My email is kendra@kendraconyers.com if you need assistance in buying or selling a home in the Charlotte metro area or the Fayetteville Fort Bragg area.